Sakura from Naruto is labeled as mean, gullible, and most notably useless by most fans of the Naruto anime community. The Naruto community for the most part are correct about the depictions of her, but that is a rare reason why I like her, because she represents most of the females I met in my life in high school. Now, nowhere am I saying that I like this personality, but that most of the girls I have interacted with in my life have that depiction. Every time I see Sakura from Naruto, I get flashbacks of the girls I interacted with in high school, which is the reason why I give the creator of Naruto, Masashi Kishimoto, major points in his character writing skills. In high school, I was exactly like Naruto, a guy in love with a girl, or in my case, girls that were not in love with me. The girls I loved would look to the cool kids at the school, which were the gangsters, and try to get their attention. You know the gangsters, the bad boys with the long socks. Here's a version of them in the Naruto world. Most of the beautiful girls at my school will be into those types of men. Right from the bat, I knew those gangsters were just going to have sex with them and dump them. What confused me was that even though that did happen to those girls, they would seek to come back to them while a nice guy like me was available. I'm going to give further detail of my experience with these types of women and their psyche behind the reason why they are the way they are and the reason why there are a lot of them. You know how Sakura always talks about Sasuke? She's always like, Sasuke so cute, Sasuke such a bad boy, Sasuke this, Sasuke that. Well, there was a girl in my school that was acted very similar to her. I'm not gonna say any name, but she did look like Ino. There would be occasions when I would talk to her and make her laugh, but I can always see her looking another way to a group of people who were the gangsters as to try to be with them as the way I was trying to be with her. The conversation would die as soon as those long socks bad boys came over and started talking to her. We would be in the middle of conversation, and as soon as one of them approached us, she completely ignored me and started talking to him. Sometimes when I'll be near her and her friends, their conversations will only be about the gangsters and which one was the cutest. This is just typical Sakura woman behavior, but I know where that mindset will lead her. Long story short, the girl ended up going out with the gangster, and guess what? He had sex with her, and I know this because he ended up telling the whole school, like the fact that she sucked his dick and it practically went all the way. But that was not enough for her. To break up with him, he had to cheat on her. When she was left at this stage, I should have made my move. I mean, she was looking for someone to take her mind away from the guy who hurt her feelings. But I chickened out, man. If this was a popular channel, I could already see someone calling me a pussy in the comment section. But part of the benefits of having little to no subscribers is that I don't have to worry about anything like that. I could go all out. But yeah, man, I should have done something like that. But intuitively, I felt like she was looking for someone like a gangster, like the first guy she was with. And I didn't have that. Just something in my mind kept telling me that. But who knows, it could have happened and I just messed up and I chickened out. And we could have had a baby, you know what I'm saying? She was hot, man. She was so hot, but I just messed it up. I could have been a hero, but the story gets worse, people. She ended up going out with a second gangster, and this guy was worse than the first. I mean, he would even titty twist her in public and she'll smile. I'm like, what the heck? But this really happened. And she also had like titties and ass and stuff, but she lost her ass going out with him. I don't know if he fucked it out of her, but it was that bad, and I just felt very bad for her that this was the outcome. I don't know why she was looking for something like that. She shouldn't have been playing around, but that's what ended up happening. I know this is not the outcome that she wanted, but to me and many guys, this was the most obvious scenario since she was going out with a gangster. I mean, that's a red flag already. You expect some drama, and I'm gonna get into a little bit why that was, why she fell for it, why wasn't it that obvious, and I'm gonna cover it right now, a little to the end of the video. I seen her after high school and she's not looking very good. She's just being tossed around, and she's not the only one that I know about this who behave like Sakura. There's many girls at my high school that behave like Sakura and they ended up with a bad outcome in their lives. I just decided to pick her because she's very prevalent in my mind. I mean, in her case, yeah, there was a lot of things going on, and I was very close to her compared to most other ones, and that's why I decided to talk about her. But yeah, there's many more cases this does happen, and it needs to stop. Now, the psychological reason for why women like bad men is because they're looking for someone to tame, and you can see this in greater explanation by clinical psychologist Jordan Peterson.
He did a plot analysis of the typical pornographic female fantasy. Well, and it's so comical because engineers did this, and social scientists would never do this because they'd be probably too concerned about the ethics of it or some damn thing. But engineers, you know, they'll just plow ahead with no concern whatsoever for such things, and they actually discover things that way. And so they discovered the basic plot of the female pornographic literary product, and they identified. So basically what happened was that a innocent, well-meaning, and attractive young woman encounters a male who's a bit of a monster. And the monster, there's 5 types of classic male monster. For all you males who want to know, this is what you can become. Vampire, that's a good one. Werewolf, billionaire, pirate, and surgeon. Okay, so that's very interesting because, well, first of all, there's a dominance thing. Now you're actually blushing, you know, you're actually blushing about that. That's very, very funny. So, sorry to point it out, but it's so comical, you know. I know, it's so funny. I was reading this, it was just cracking me up. I thought, oh my God, really? Pirate, vampire, oh, that explains it. What about all these damn vampire shows, right? They're so popular online, they're so popular on Netflix. Oh yes, and then there's the werewolf. There's nothing sexier than a werewolf, apparently. But I mean, so there's predatory dominance that's implicit in that, right? With the billionaire, it's more abstract, but clearly that's an indication of very high success in the male dominance hierarchy. So, but there's this desire for aggression that's in that, a real aggression, right? And it's not surprising to me at all. It makes perfect sense. But the basic plot is that the woman encounters this mysterious and aggressive male and tames him. That's the female hero myth, as far as I can tell. It's Beauty and the Beast. And so it's because, well, there's no fun in taming someone who's already tame. And what makes you think you really want someone who's tame anyways? There's no interest in that. Plus, when chaos manifests itself, what makes you think that someone tame is going to be good for anything? And it's a real question. And so that aggression is absolutely vital. It's absolutely necessary. But because it's incredibly dangerous, which of course it is, it has to be civilized. And so what happens is that the archetypal female in these pornographic romances seduces and tames the aggressive male. And that's her encounter with chaos.
So women are looking for a bad boy to tame because they want excitement in their life. They like the aggression. I'm guessing they like the drama, and that drama is not going to get them anywhere. They're not going to be able to tame that bad boy. Putting the high school girls that I met on the side, what Jordan Peterson just described can be applied to my niece. You see, I was able to get my niece to watch My Hero Academia, and by the way, if you want anybody to start watching anime who isn't familiar with the anime, I suggest you start them with My Hero Academia, because my niece hated anime, and as soon as she watched My Hero Academia, the first episode really sucked her in, and it showed her how entertaining anime can truly be, especially for those who are in their teenage years. That is the anime to go to. Then I asked my niece, who is your favorite character in My Hero Academia? And I was expecting her to say one of the girls and stuff like that, but she said Bakugo, and I was shocked because I hate Bakugo, and Bakugo is a complete jerk. I'm like, why do you like Bakugo? And she said because she likes how he strives to do things by himself and he wins. This just goes to show you that being a bad boy has its perks. I just hope that my niece doesn't end up like the Sakura woman at my high school. Some girls are perfectly okay with having a bad boy explore her rather than having a good guy elevate her. That's just the way it is, and that's perfectly fine with them. I don't know what's wrong with them, but There are some girls like that. But there are girls that are not like that, but are being molded to be like that thanks to the media. The media has induced little girls into thinking that when they grow up, there's going to be a Prince Charming that is going to provide everything they need. This is what's known as the Cinderella complex. You can see the Cinderella complex being used in movies like, of course, Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast, Snow White, your typical Disney movies. And Disney is a big marketer when it comes to appealing to children. And so when they grow up, guess what? They're thinking that there's a Prince Charming that's going to take away all their needs, and usually is a guy that they want and prefer. And guess who that guy is, being the most handsome person? Usually the bad boy, and that's how they win. And this is something that has to stop, and it's causing lots of girls who otherwise would have picked a good guy to fall for a bad guy. What's more is that this also affects men by making them want to be a gangster in order for them to impress a girl. Sakura might have been a spot-on, well-written female character when it came to her personality and characteristics, but she ended up with the man she wanted, which was the fictional aspect of the anime. This type of girl does not end up with the man she dreams of being with. Only in fairy tales does this apply. Even though Naruto had a crush on Sakura, he did not end up being with her, but he still wanted what was best for her. Same goes for me. The girl that I fell in love with in high school that reminded me of Sakura, I want what's best for her. But she did not end up so good, so all I can do now is inform a future generation of girls to lean on reasoning rather than their emotions. If you're one of my cool subscribers, then all I can say is that there isn't really that much of you guys out there, so that truly makes you one of a kind. And if you happen to be a lucky person to come across this video, feel free to like and subscribe and share this video to especially anybody you believe is like Sakura. If you're cool, then subscribe. If you're not, then don't. Alright, late.
Sasuke, you're back! Don't be so shy, you bad boy!